What's up guys, it's Drac, and I am slammed with end war preparation, which means today we're reviewing this. So I know, Drac, you're late to the fire rat party, and I've had this for the better part of a year. Is that true? I've had it this year. All of this year I've had it. So this one comes to me from my friends over at Monkey Mods. This is the only version of the fire rat that I would be comfortable playing with just because of its silhouette, but this is the solid orange version. I know there's like a murdered out smoke version. I don't want to fool with that. And then I think that there are some kind of in-between sort of flavors for it. But what the fire rat is effectively a, over, under, plunger under, turnaround style mag and grip fed pistol. You could make all sorts of illusions. I think that it's almost a cliche at this point to say that that's all gecko based. After all, the gecko is not the first version of that system. It's just one of the more popular on YouTube. It's also one of the more commonly ripped off in China, which leads to adaptations like this. So you would not necessarily be incorrect to say that this is an injection molded kind of thing along that line. That said, it's got it's a distinctive shell. It's a distinct set of internals. And there's a lot of injection molding and machining that went into making this pretty nice. The box itself comes with some extra stuff. It comes with an extra spring. It comes with extra trigger springs. It comes with a bag with extra catches in it. And it also comes with instructions that are entirely in Chinese. Makes you wish that they were Lego instructions. For some reason, they're blank on the inside, but then the booklet kind of explains, well, nothing. At least nothing that I can understand other than, basic functions and how to use it. So effectively, the fire rat has a lockback mechanism. It's got a grip with these two detents on the side here that you can see those release the slide so that when you pull back, they're very, very soft mechanisms, so to speak. So you could kind of just grip and rip. But overall, that's what it is. It's a sidearm with a very compelling silhouette due to, mimicking a lot of real steel goodness. And then either the biggest upside or the biggest downside, depending on who you are and how you want to build your loadout, or realistically just where you are in your loadout building process, is that it uses proprietary magazines. These aren't Talon compatible at all. Talons won't fit inside. They're significantly thinner than Talons. Angled Talons, straight Talons, doesn't matter. I know that Worker is doing something similar right now with their Nightingale, but haven't released my video on the Nightingale yet because I filmed it on an iPhone and Bert photobombed the whole thing. Shout out to my boy Bert. Here we have the fire rat, and just giving it its own kind of thing. It cost $50 when it was on Monkey Mods, which I think was a very fair price. It's been sold out for months. The going rate for them seems to be $80 from like other Chinese kind of web stores that are obviously drop shipping them, but what are you gonna do? The magazine, like I said again, is proprietary, so if you're planning on running this as like your dedicated pistol loadout, you're gonna need to pick up some extra magazines. That's where it can get pricey, but it comes with one. Each magazine holds 10 darts. There's an argument made that you could fit 11 in there, but I feel like at 11, you're compressing the darts to the point that you're gonna affect your performance negatively, especially over time. Mag fits in grip, like I said. It's got a very comfortable magazine release. On this side here, it is realistically just a right-handed mag release because of how that works, but like I said, pretty comfortable. The barrel appears to be the pretty standard anodized Worker style barrel. Looks like it's just under 4 inches. The plunger is about 2.5 inches in length. Overall, I think that this has all the makings of a decent sidearm, maybe even an HVZ sidearm if it's coming in lower. You come back, it automatically retracts. You just want to be absolutely certain if you see that gap there that you seat it properly when it's returning. When it uses the automatic return, it doesn't always have the force to chamber and get past its O-ring and really seat into the barrel. Then firing is exactly like that. There's obviously no slam fire because you have to wait for the breech to close to return, but just kind of a little chunk there as it's working its way through the magazine. Loading the magazine is just like loading any other magazine. You push down on the dart, put a fresh one in. Obviously, if you were gonna use this in some sort of competitive scenario, you'd want just a completely full magazine so that you could pop and swap. But overall, I think that the fire rat is just an interesting piece to talk about because it's relatively inexpensive. The build quality is vastly superior to any sort of 3D printed gecko that I've handled so far. In doing so, I think that its reliability would be better. It's got this fascinating slide lock on the side where you could come back like this and push that up like that. That allows you to take a look at the breech, how that works. It lets you check your magazine. It lets you clear any jams without worrying about pinching yourself. Then you can close it like that. And even when it's back, You pull down on the slide lock and it clicks into place, and then it's ready to fire. There is no safety on the blaster, which might or might not be relevant to you and how you play, but I think that the most important piece of data, having covered all of the ergonomics and features of it, is to take it outside, put it over the chronograph, see what kind of numbers it gives us. Let's go. All right, so we're out here with the Fire Rat. We're gonna get some realistic numbers. We've got loaded up with some AF Pros, some max darts, and some generic worker Gen 3s. I know that a lot of the Chinese retailers for this product recommend worker darts. That's because it's easier for them to get worker darts. Here in the States, if you're gonna go with the Fire Rat, and again, in the States, I highly, highly recommend the super orange version. And even then, you know, your game organizers will have discretion. I do think that you'll be using, you know, a combination of darts that looks a lot like this. So we'll go back, forward, make sure that we're chambered, and 118, 111, 115, 110. So relatively consistent between 110 and 115. That's pretty solid, especially for a sidearm with this amount of like plunger and power. I mean, I like it. I'm almost hesitant to like it because of the silhouette, but you know, at this price point with this feature, I guess my biggest gripe would be I would want to run this as a pseudo primary. I would want to run it as an HVZ blaster, and its incompatibility with other magazines means that I'd have to get a lot of proprietary magazines, and I can't stand that. I had to do it in airsoft with a Glock at one point. It drives me up a wall, but let's take a few shots down range. That was pretty close. That one fell a little short. Oh, that last one was so close. So it feels like the kind of blaster that could benefit from maybe slightly more barrel length, but overall, like I said, very holsterable. Speaking of holsters, I want to give a shout out. I'll throw a link in the description box because the name is escaping me right now, but I had a custom holster made for my Pew Pew, which is just kind of cool. If you haven't seen the Pew Pew recently, this is by far the most exciting flywheel pistol out there, I think, and it's just cool. The holster is actually pretty nice too. It specifically is mated to my Katanica pants, so it doesn't need a dedicated rig. It fits into the MOLLE webbing on the pants. And then theoretically, well, I think I'm gonna have to kind of temper the leather into it, whatever that's called. It'll hold a magazine while it's in there as well. And then to get it out, you would like pop this and pull out. So it's almost like a retention system in and of itself. But I wanted to shout out the holster because I think that it's really sweet. I want to show off the Pew Pew because I think it's really sweet. If you can get your hands on a Fire Rat for anywhere close to the Monkey Mods price, I think the Fire Rat is a solid pickup. But my big takeaways are it's, you know, under 130 FPS, which means that it would be fine for HVZ in most places. You should definitely be picking up the neon orange one if any are available. I think that this is by far the safest, best color combination. And we're getting to the point where we've almost normalized real steel silhouettes in our Nerf pistols. And I think that should be a separate video at another time because it's a very interesting conundrum that could, oh no, oh snap, I'm out of ammo. But it's a flying chicken with a shovel. It's Bernie Sanders with a steel chair. I'll see you guys next time. Much love, blast on, Drac out.